My main fear is that I'm hoping that these interest rates do not go so up to a level whereby people will be like, you know what, this thing of buying, I'm not sure about it. But then again, here's the thing, right? And that's why as a business person, you need to have that, what does my boy call it, the heart of a lion, is that yes, we find ourselves in this market, but does that mean that we're going to wait? There isn't a right time that's going to come.
Yeah.
Looking at that deal that you went through in COVID, you could have said that, COVID, I don't know what to expect. So as much as, yes, deep inside you fear and you have that fear, but you know that you did your calculation and you bought it at the right price, so we still go forward with it.
Yeah.
So
I mean, as just to jump on what you're speaking about right now. As property investors, right, I know on the outside we like acting tough that, yeah, I'm sure about my return on investment and I'm sure about this. However, it's always fun or good times when Excel comes to life, right? So what we mean by Excel comes to life is that the numbers that you have or had predicted actually come to life in terms of you were saying that you were going to be spending X amount of money, and then it does happen that you only spend X amount of money. Then the most important part is you selling that property at that right price.
another fear from my side is the rental costs. Yo, you know,
When you get to a place and you didn't anticipate that you needed to fix something, and that something is huge. It's not just a light bulb, it's huge.
you know, even just remodeling your bathroom, it's a lot of money. Like someone would be saying, bathroom, it's a lot. It's a lot of money because just to even extract or take out everything that has been there, it's cost.
Yeah.
Taking that out and putting it in those bins, it's a cost. Or even if you don't want to put it in a bin, you want to throw it away somewhere safe, it's a cost again. So to me, those expenses really hit hard because we can sit down with a contractor or we can sit down. You know how easy it is to sit down and say, we just need probably about 70,000, right? Yeah, according to Excel and according to my contractor, I know that I'll be spending 70,000. But now, when it comes to the real deal, and now I have to take out that 70,000, it's tough. And that's why I loved yesterday when someone joined us in the live yesterday. It was more of a conversation in terms of how do we balance. So as a property investor, we need to find that balance in a sense whereby you don't want to overcapitalize. You don't want to put too much of those nice taps or that nice door that when that person comes in, they'll be like, I don't like this door. So it's finding that balance in a sense whereby, is this necessary or will this contribute? I think the major question is that, will this contribute towards the sale and making sure that it's sold at that price? So that's one of the major fears that I'm currently having right now, to be honest with everybody on the live. We're about to go in a project, so even a pool, there's a pool there. So here's the thing. Here's the thing about the pool, guys. I'll tell you the truth. Level doesn't want to come out.
Hey, that pool is messed up, man.
Any day, like a lot of people. Here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. A lot of people would walk away from a dirty pool, a green pool. A lot of people would walk away from that, say that it's dirty. But then look at it this way. For the fact that, let's just say there's water, that means the water is dirty. But that means there's no cracks. Now with us, our situation, instead of having a pool, I think we're going to do a live one of these days.
It's the worst.
We'll do a live to show you guys. Instead of having a pool, what they did is that they closed the pool with this grass, the sand.
Grass, and they only closed it halfway.
So now the question again is that if we do have cracks, Ziokara, because a pool alone, when we got the quotation, someone was saying around 60,000 to 70,000. And going back to it's not that bad when you hear it or when they write it down until you have to take out that money. So, so my main fear right now going into this project is that pool, because you don't want to, because we have two options.
I almost forgot about that pool.
You almost forgot about it. Yeah, now he's proper stressing now. So there's two options of going about it, right? Is that we can completely remove the tiles around that pool so that it's just grass. We put grass. That will be the most cost efficient strategy. Now, will it influence the sale price? Yes, you can't sell it as high as other properties that have pools. So if it has a pool again, it's points for your house. But now the question is at the cost of what? But then now it's not a thing whereby I'll be like, oh, I can sell it at 850, let me fix. What if this pool would cost more than that 70,000, it would cost 110,000? And then you'd be like, but was it worth it to fix it, or should I have just left it? So what do you think we should do, guys? Do you think that we should fix the pool, or do you think that we should leave it?
I can't wait to actually be doing lives or at that property, man, whilst they're getting it fixed, man. It's always exciting to get people's perspective on what should be done, right?
Yeah.
Now, the thing that I'm afraid of, right, is the money side.
Yeah.
The thing about me, guys, I hate spending money.
Yeah, we hate spending.
I mean, spending money on going to restaurants and stuff like that, I enjoy it.
You enjoy it?
Even though I don't do it as much
That's
as
where
I
we
should.
differ.
And even though as much as I don't do it as much as I should, but I enjoy just going and just enjoying myself. We work really hard. Look at Nero looking at me like that.
This
Guys, we work really hard, guys. We can't be working this hard and then to manage ourselves.
No,
but at the end of the day, listen.
Okay.
At the end of the day, you need to understand that is your expenses meeting your income? If you're doing that, then you are hurting yourself. Your expenses that you are creating, or the expenses of saying that, you know what, I've been working hard, but they're only a fraction of what you are actually doing. That actually motivates you to go on to the next deal. I mean, you can't always be working now. Come on. Let's work. You can't always be working, guys. You can't always be working. So, looking at fixing the property, right? Guys, the money that goes out when you're fixing the property is alarming. Like, I've never spent so much money. I remember the first time flipping a property. I've never spent so much money in a day. Where the contractor is saying that, hey, we are shorting off this. The geyser doesn't work anymore, so you need to come fix it. This doesn't work, you need to come fix it. You end up spending north of 10,000 in a day. When I spend 1,000, I'm already like, hey, this is too much, man. Now imagine 10,000, that's a lot, guys. They answered in terms of, or people answered in terms of the summer pool. C is saying that fix it, Zen is saying fix and pre-hire. Paul is saying that it's a gap. And then Melita is saying that I think cover the pool. Having a pool these days is costly.
Yeah. So thanks for the input. I think now it's clear now after looking at the numbers in that sense that it's not clear cut in a sense whereby let's just get the pool done so that we can get it done so that we can increase the price. So it's clear that we need to take everything into consideration before we even spend a cent.
Yeah. So
my question to you guys, the final question from my side is that interest rates are going up. Now we looked at flip, let's look at the rental side so that we can balance everyone. Now, there's a client of ours who's been reaching out to us and saying, gents, I increased rent last year and I feel as if I need to increase it again this year. Now, the tenant is not happy. They were not happy with the first increase. Do they increase it again to match the bond, or do they just walk away?
Okay, can you please repeat it again?
So, a client of ours reached out to us and said, gents, I fought with my tenant last year so that I must increase rent. But I did eventually win. So now that the interest rates are going up again, I feel as if I should increase it again. So my question to everyone in the life is that, should they increase it or should they wait? Or what do you think should be the case in this situation?
As a property investor, you need to have both caps. You need to have a cap of Zen saying that what's the agreement on the lease.
What's the agreement on the lease? That's a really good one. And then the thing is, you'll be shocked with other people. The lease agreement doesn't speak about rent increment. So hence we say that I would rather get the right lease so that I know that we're protected, because if the lease agreement does say 10% every year, it's not even a conversation. And if they do agree that 10% every year, it's not even a fight. But now, if that point is not there, or me as the landlord, I did see it, but I was shy to speak about it, I'll find myself in trouble again.
This is something that I really want everybody to understand, especially when it comes to rentals. If you're going to be renting out your property, and then after renting out your property, always increasing your rentals, it might get to a point whereby it's beating everybody in the area. Now, as a property investor, I'd be happy if my property is higher than everybody around my area. However, the problem is that everybody, I'm not able to keep tenants in that property. Now it becomes a problem. Remember, we're only speaking about demand and supply. If the supply is a lot, right, and you are actually raising up your rent on an annual basis, it will get to a point whereby your tenant is going to say that I'm moving out of this property, I'm finding another property because this is becoming too expensive for me, whereas my neighbor is renting out at a fraction of what I'm actually paying. So that's something to consider, that even though you want to increase, and even though the lease agreement says that you can increase, if you do increase, how is it going to affect your business as a property investor?